Then I give the floor to the distinguished representative of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies.
Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for inviting us to participate in this PrepCom meeting. It is encouraging to see the progress being made in development of this post-2015 framework for disaster risk reduction and in preparation for the World Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those involved, especially the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, for its lead role in this process. Through our 189 members national societies, we participated actively in the implementation of the HYOGO Framework for Action adopted in Cotte in 2005. We have referenced this experience within the discussions of HYOGO Framework for Action 2 and the World Conference. In our contributions to the consultation process and regional disaster reduction platform, as well as the full text of the Federation is officially submitted to you, I would like to highlight some important issues here. For HYOGO Framework for Action to be a truly global DRR framework, we believe it must be fully integrated within development and humanitarian frameworks, including the Sustainable Development Goals and the new climate agreement. Only this mutual reinforcement of DRR will create a coherent and harmonized post-2015 paradigm shift in effective risk management and sustainable global development. Stakeholders have valuable opportunity to make voluntary commitments at the 2015 World Conference. As many of the important commitments made in COP and within global disaster risk reduction platforms have not been fully realized, we call upon the stakeholders to clarify and reaffirm their commitments and then to extend these commitments with HYOGO frameworks to targets that are both ambitious and realistic. The chair's summary of the Global Platform on Disaster Risk Reduction called for allocating 10% of humanitarian relief funds to DRR, enforcing disaster risk reduction measures in building and land use codes, and including DRR in all school curricula. These commitments remain relevant and must be implemented. We welcome the guiding principles that highlight the need for the full engagement and empowerment of whole of the society, including local communities. These principles recognize that preventing new risks and reducing existing ones is an international legal duty aimed at protecting persons, their livelihoods and property, while respecting their human rights. We also believe, as reflected in our fundamental principle of humanity, that our priority must be to empower the most at-risk, poorest, and marginalized people. A holistic approach reduce the underlying causes of vulnerability while addressing the wide spectrum of natural and human caused risk. We emphasize that public policies on disaster risk reduction without allocated resources and funded mandates will fall short of expectations. Enacted policies, therefore, must be underwritten by financial commitments. Public awareness and public education is imperative to building a culture of resilience. We call on national governments to invest in public awareness and public education for changing minds and behaviors of current and future generations. Finally, we need stronger, comprehensive DRR laws for safer communities. Findings from a new joint report from the IFRC and UNDP underscore the urgent need to governments to establish stronger laws that protect at-risk communities from the threats posed by natural disaster and others. We ask that HYOGO Framework for Action 2 call on governments to review and improve legislation at both national and community levels and to support the implementation of good laws through community education and awareness. We welcome the call for the Red Cross Red Crescent movement to support the implementation of the HYOGO Framework for Action. Our unique strength lies in our knowledge of and responsiveness to local needs, as well as our auxiliary role to the national governments. For decades, our 189 Red Cross, Red Crescent national societies have been actively engaged in DRR and resilience building at all levels. We are delivering on our commitment to steadily increasing our reach and investment for DRR, recognizing the increasing disaster impacts on vulnerable people. We will redouble our effort to scale up DRR activities and to support national societies in strengthening community resilience, in close partnership with governments and stakeholders at all levels. I would like to give my word representing our network that together with our national society, we will actively contribute to implementation of HYOGON Framework for Action 2 by supporting countries and stakeholders in this process. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I thank the distinguished representative of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies for his statement.